Every image you have ever seen of Adam and Eve may be wrong. For centuries, artists have painted the first man and woman in their own image. European painters gave them European faces. Modern films cast actors who reflect today's beauty standards. Even children's Bibles often present Adam and Eve with features that say more about the artist than about history. But what if we could start over? What if we combined the latest discoveries in genetics, anthropology, archaeology, and artificial intelligence to ask one of humanity's oldest questions? What did the first humans really look like? Would they resemble us? Or would they surprise us completely? Tonight, we explore where Scripture ends, where science begins, and where the two may unexpectedly meet. Long before photography, before written history, before civilization itself, there were only two names: Adam and Eve. According to Genesis, they were the first human beings, created directly by God. Every nation, every language, every family, every person alive today traces their story back to humanity's beginning. But Genesis tells us almost nothing about their appearance, no description of their height, no mention of eye color, no details about skin tone, nothing about facial features. The silence is remarkable, perhaps intentionally so. The Bible focuses not on what they looked like, but on who they were. Still, human curiosity has always filled in the blanks. Walk into almost any Western museum, and you will see Adam and Eve portrayed as young Europeans. Fair skin, soft features, brown or blonde hair, idealized physiques. Michelangelo's famous fresco on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel helped shape the world's imagination. So did countless Renaissance masters. Yet medieval artists often portrayed Adam and Eve differently. Their bodies were symbolic rather than realistic. Their purpose was theological, not historical. As Christianity spread around the world, artists naturally imagined biblical figures who resembled their own communities. African churches painted African Adams. Asian artists painted Asian Eves. European painters painted Europeans. Each reflected familiar faces, not necessarily ancient ones. This omission raises an interesting question. Why doesn't Genesis tell us what Adam and Eve looked like? Biblical scholars suggest the reason is simple. Appearance wasn't the point. Genesis is primarily concerned with humanity's relationship with God, the image of God, human purpose, freedom, responsibility, temptation, sin, hope. The story speaks to every culture because it avoids tying humanity's beginning to one specific physical appearance. In many ways, its silence makes the story universal. Science approaches the question very differently. Instead of asking who Adam and Eve were, it asks where modern humans came from. Genetics tells us something remarkable. Every living person shares an astonishing amount of DNA. About 99.9% of our genetic code is identical. The differences that seem enormous to us, skin color, hair texture, facial shape, are controlled by a tiny fraction of our DNA. Scientists generally agree that our species, Homo sapiens, first appeared in Africa roughly 300,000 years ago. From there, humans gradually spread across the globe. This question often creates confusion. From an evolutionary perspective, the earliest members of our species lived in Africa. That conclusion is supported by fossil discoveries, ancient DNA, and modern genetics. However, the biblical Adam and Eve occupy a different category. Genesis presents them as the first humans in a theological sense, not as part of a scientific timeline. Some believers see Adam and Eve as historical individuals living within humanity's early history. Others understand Genesis in more symbolic or literary ways. These interpretations differ across Jewish and Christian traditions. Science and Scripture are asking different questions. One investigates biological origins, The other explores humanity's spiritual origin and relationship with God. Perhaps the most debated question is skin tone. Modern genetics provides fascinating clues. Scientists believe early humans living under intense African sunlight likely possessed relatively dark skin. Dark pigmentation protects against harmful ultraviolet radiation while preserving important nutrients like folate. As humans migrated into regions with less sunlight, lighter skin evolved independently in different populations over thousands of years. This adaptation improved vitamin D production. In other words, skin color reflects geography more than identity. It is an adaptation, not a measure of worth. If the earliest Homo sapiens lived in Africa, many anthropologists conclude they probably had darker complexions than many people living today in Europe or Northern Asia. Hair tells another story. Early humans likely had dark hair. Dark pigmentation dominates human genetics and remains the most common hair color worldwide. Curly or tightly textured hair may also have helped regulate body temperature beneath intense sunlight. Eye color offers another clue. Blue and green eyes are relatively recent genetic developments. The earliest humans almost certainly had brown eyes. Brown eyes remain the most common eye color across the world today. Science cannot tell us exactly what Adam and Eve looked like, but it can estimate what the earliest members of our species probably resembled. Hollywood often portrays Adam as towering and heroic. Reality may have been different. Anthropologists estimate that early Homo sapiens were generally lean and athletic. Men averaged roughly 5 feet 6 to 5 feet 10. Women, somewhat shorter. Their bodies reflected lives of constant movement. Walking, climbing, hunting, gathering. Strength mattered, but endurance mattered even more. Modern research suggests humans evolved into exceptional long-distance walkers. Our ancestors were built not for speed, but for persistence. Artificial intelligence cannot travel back in time. It cannot produce a photograph of Adam and Eve, but it can combine enormous amounts of scientific information. Ancient DNA, human genetics, anthropological measurements, climate data, population studies, facial anatomy. By combining these data sets, AI can generate plausible reconstructions, not certainty, but informed possibilities. The result often surprises people. The faces look familiar, yet unlike traditional paintings. They appear deeply human, strong, intelligent, curious. Not mythical giants, not flawless supermodels. Simply people. People remarkably like us. For believers, however, appearance is only part of the story. Genesis declares that humanity was created in the image of God. This phrase has inspired centuries of discussion. It does not necessarily refer to physical appearance. Instead, many theologians understand it as humanity's unique capacity for reason, creativity, morality, relationship, and stewardship. Adam and Eve were significant not because of their facial features, but because of their calling. Their choices shaped every generation that followed. The Bible never suggests that holiness has a skin color, or a facial structure, or an ethnicity. Instead, it points toward a shared human family. Now imagine standing in Eden. Morning sunlight filters through ancient trees. Birds fill the air with song. Before you stand, a man and a woman. Their skin bears the warmth of the sun. Their hair is dark. Their eyes are deep brown. Their faces are strong but gentle. Not perfect by Hollywood standards, perfectly human. Their expressions reflect wonder, curiosity, innocence, responsibility. Whether this reconstruction matches the historical Adam and Eve, no one can say. It is not a portrait. It is a scientifically informed possibility. A reminder that beneath every culture, every nation, and every language, humanity shares one extraordinary story. For thousands of years, humanity has imagined the faces of Adam and Eve. Artists painted them. Poets described them. Filmmakers reinvented them. Now science offers its own perspective, not with certainty, but with evidence. And perhaps that is the greatest lesson. The Bible leaves their appearance a mystery. Science offers educated estimates. Together, they invite us to look beyond the surface. Because in the end, perhaps the most important question is not whether Adam had dark skin or light, whether Eve had curly hair or straight, or whether an AI reconstruction is exactly right. Perhaps the deeper question is this: if every human being carries the same dignity, the same longing, and the same capacity for both greatness and failure, then maybe the true image of Adam and Eve is reflected every time we look into another human face. So what do you think? Does it really matter what Adam and Eve looked like? Or does it matter far more who they were?